Hey, everybody. Welcome to Element 24. Today is all about disease, cancer, and illness. It is such a full topic, so much in those three words there. It's just crazy. Let's look at the prompt. Disease, cancer, and illness. Being special. That's being a victim. Being powerless, needing others to make you well. That's called giving your power away. And the belief that it's inevitable and that it's part of just being a human. It's the human condition, that it's inevitable. There's so much around this that, we can talk about, we could go on and on about how we create disease and diseases specifically like cancer and illnesses. But let's turn the table and look at it in terms of what's needed for forgiveness. So disease, otherwise pronounced as dis-ease, is really anything that isn't congruent with where you are and what you're doing. And the body's natural tendency, our energy in this density is to be in harmony. And as we force ourselves into situations that disrupt that harmony, we create that dis-ease. And if we ignore it long enough and we deny it and continue to sacrifice that harmony, then it evolves or progresses and gets louder and becomes illnesses. It manifests in chronic or acute illnesses. And I believe that the acute turns into the chronic. And cancer is one that our body naturally tends to rid itself of those toxins and things that typically turn into cancer as long as they can keep up. And when they no longer are able to keep up, that is when the cancer, quote, wins and becomes an entity of itself. And then we get tumors and we get all the things associated with cancer. So when we're looking at, first of all, this is one that so many people can embrace the majority of what we talk about here in these courses until they get to this. And then they're like, nope, I don't own my power here. I submit to doctors knowing more than me. I submit to the internet knowing more than me. I submit to a greater authority on this. And I think honestly, it comes from a place of fear, as in, I have created something that I'm so intimidated by that I need to shrink back from my power and let someone else swoop in and take care of me. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like if I've ever done that, and I'm sure there are times that I have to a degree, I need to forgive myself for that, because I sit in judgment of that, as in that is not owning who I am, not living my divinity, not embracing who I am and that authenticity. So that's one place to look at it. Another place is we so subscribe to this. We're bombarded with the media, which we've already talked about earlier in this course, another element. And victimhood, we've already talked about that. We've talked about, and I think that a lot of the treatments, particularly in cancer, are just downright cruel. If it doesn't kill you, it might cure you. Well, that feels a little like abandoning yourself. we've talked about inequalities, and that gets into that hierarchy of those that can help me because I can't help myself, and that creates that inequality. There's just so much that we've talked about already that I feel feeds into this. But when, in terms of forgiveness, the things that I looked at were all the times that I allowed myself to be trapped in these circumstances. And, now is such, I don't know when you're going to be doing this element, but right now we're still within COVID times. And I mean, that has really changed so many people's ability to stay in this place of empowerment, because the fear is just everywhere. And it is so powerful because these are circumstances that we never anticipated. So I see that as another opportunity for forgiveness right there. And I apologize for allowing myself to unconditionally give up my power. I apologize for not listening to the guidance that my body is providing me, that I am providing myself through my body, through these messages, beginning with the disease. There's so much, and there's so many examples, and I look, and I've helped people with, for instance, cancers of the that are gender specific, like the breast cancer and uterine and ovarian cancer, and even things like fibromyalgia and not fibromyalgia, the fibroid disease. It's so related to that role of the female. I don't mean feminine, the female, and the creation and the embodiment of the female, and how we feel about that. And whether we live in harmony with that, or we're constantly in battle with it, or just, it's not in alignment with who we are, with our authenticity. And in my opinion, the authenticity encompasses both the feminine and the masculine, and that incarnating, we have chosen to express more one or the other based on our physical manifestations. So, lung cancer is, they're just, it's individual, and it's all about guidance and listening to that guidance. And lung cancer could be about afraid to take a breath. It could be afraid to be here. There's so many underlying issues, and again, are based on the individual. But in starting with the forgiveness of the whole process of believing that I am powerless to this, and this is beyond me, continues that separation. It continues that me and not me. And by giving away your power to a greater authority, like a doctor, or a medicine, a drug, chemotherapy, antidepressants, anything like that, in my mind, that sets up the scenario where so much can shift and change by doing this forgiveness right here. So the feelings that I came up with in my workbook were just, it ran the gamut from, the just so sad, and those that are so deeply embedded in the illness, and so totally own it and define themselves by it, to being angry for the drug companies who just make money off of it. But they couldn't make money off of it if we didn't let them. So again, another place for forgiveness. So I'll go ahead and read our clearing statement. I experience and accept all disease, cancer, and illness, past, present, and future, for what they all are and have been in the bigger picture. It is with apology, forgiveness, and love that I have gratitude for the lessons that are now complete in singularity within themselves, all of us, and myself. So go ahead, sit back, close your eyes, take a nice cleansing breath, and open the door to the wholeness. Step through the doorway with that open heart and allow that vibration of the statement that I just read to be the new place where you reside and create from. Okay, one more deep breath. That was uncomfortable there for a while. Felt like, as my father used to call them thunderheads, like it was just building up and up and up and up and up, and the tension was just getting greater and greater, and then it kind of let go, and there's a little bit of a shower, but I could see that there was still part of the thunderhead still up above. But I definitely think I'll be repeating this one. Very good. Very good. So, post video affirmation for today. I apologize to forgive, accept, nurture, and have gratitude for the lessons and consciousness created by disease, cancer, and illness, past, present, and future, that are now complete. Awesome. I can see some journaling happening with this one as well. So thanks so much for joining today, and look forward to seeing you on our next element. Bye-bye.